Hi, I'm Bailey. I'm 18 years old. I've lost 160 pounds in the last 2 years, and now I look like this. It wasn't easy at all. There were many obstacles I had to overcome. Unfortunately, one of them was my twin sister, Summer. I'm going to tell my story from the beginning and hope it will inspire anyone who wants to lose weight. Summer and I are identical twins. Even though we look the same, our personalities are complete opposites. For example, I'm a total introvert. I like spending time on my own. Summer, however, likes to socialize. She always has people around. I'm not ambitious at all, but Summer is very competitive. She doesn't like to lose even when she's playing a game. I'm quite messy. Summer is super neat and organized. I'm always late to places. She is always on time. Even though we're twins, we're not the two halves of the same apple. We're more like apples and oranges, totally different people. One thing we're really different in is appetite. You know how they say that some people live to eat and others eat to live? I belong to the first group because I live to eat. I think about what to have for dinner while I'm having lunch, while Summer only eats what she needs to live. In fact, she often forgets to eat. She gets full really quickly, so she's always the first to leave the table. As you can guess, I've been overweight since we were babies, and Summer has been skinny. In primary school, nobody believed we were twins. "Impossible! You can't be twins! You must be 3 or 4 years older," they'd say. I'd like that they thought I was older. I'd piss Summer off saying, "I grew up, but you're still a little girl." When we started middle school, I was really heavy for a kid that age. Summer weighed 75 pounds while I weighed 165. After several negative experiences, I learned that being overweight wasn't something to be proud of. Being humiliated for my appearance had become part of my daily routine. The boys in class came up with new insults every day. When I got home, I'd go straight to the bathroom and cry. The worst was when Summer joined in and started making fun of me too. During every meal, she'd say something to upset me. "Watch out! Don't eat the plate! I can't believe that you can still fit into a chair. Eat a bit less so that kids in Africa can get some food." She became crueler towards me as time passed. She was ashamed of me and made it known at every opportunity. My life became even harder without my sister's support. I didn't have any friends. I was already an introvert, and this made me totally asocial. You must have heard that twins have a really strong bond. I felt this bond deeply, and I loved my sister so much. Sadly, Summer felt differently. I used to think that she loved me too. I thought, she's ashamed of me because I'm obese. She rejects me because she doesn't want to be associated with me. Maybe that was true in the past, but she'd changed. It was obvious from everything she did that she hated me. The girl who was constantly humiliated, who nobody wanted to be friends with, was her twin. Honestly, I could see where she was coming from. It was normal for her to hate me, because even I hated myself. If you had so many issues, why didn't you try to lose weight, you might ask? You're right. I should have lost weight. I knew that. I went on countless of diets from childhood. None of them lasted longer than a day. I'd attack food the moment I got hungry. Now when I look back, I can tell that it was totally normal, because food was my escape. I only felt happy when I was eating. I had a terrible life. If I didn't have the joy of eating, I'd have nothing left. That's why I couldn't stop eating. Actually, I was depressed. Eating uncontrollably was my antidepressant. So how did I manage to lose weight? Remember how I said I'm always late to places? It's hard to believe, but that's how I made the decision that changed my life. Every time I tell this story, first I cry and then I laugh. Let's see if the same will happen now. I was turning 16 that day. Of course, it was Summer's birthday too. My grandparents were coming over. In the morning, my mom had said, "You need to be home by 5. That's what my mom always does. Every year, she makes our birthday party a surprise. She doesn't mention the party. She just tells us what time we need to be home. For the past 3 years, Summer and I didn't get each other presents. It's like we had a silent agreement. We had stopped buying presents to each other. But this was different. I'm sure Summer didn't remember, but we had promised each other years ago. We were in kindergarten then. One day, "When do you think we'll be adults?" Summer had asked me. We knew that Mom was pregnant with us when she was 18. So if 18 was the age to be a mom, then 16 would be the start of adulthood. This meant our childhood would be over at 16. So we'd need to buy each other adult gifts. And what is an adult gift? Flowers, of course. Dad always got Mom flowers on special occasions. Mom loved them. That meant adults loved flowers. Since we were going to be adults at 16, we decided we should buy each other flowers. We promised that day that we'd buy each other flowers on our 16th birthday. Years passed by and it was time for us to keep our promise. Since I was late to everything, I bought the flower at the last minute. As I was walking towards the subway stop to go home, I realized it was already 4:30. I needed to be home in 30 minutes. I got into the subway with a huge bouquet in my hands. I was used to people staring at me because of my weight. But the stares had doubled because of the huge flowers I was carrying. It was 10 to 5 when I got off the subway. I wasn't going to make it unless I ran. When I started running with my huge body, the stares tripled. I was at the turnstile now. I was going to be away from the staring crowd really soon. I hurried towards the turnstile. Oh my God! I couldn't pass! I was stuck. Yes, I was stuck inside the turnstile. I couldn't go forwards or backwards. The people passing through the turnstile were laughing at me. Some just stopped and started watching me. I began to cry. At the same time, I was trying hard to get away. I was in such a pitiful state. Few people tried to help. A man pulled my hands while a woman pushed from behind. They managed to save me. In that chaos, the flowers got damaged and only the stems were left. I thanked my saviors. I threw away the stems. And I cried all the way home. At home, everybody was waiting for me. I couldn't tell them that I got stuck in the turnstile because I was so ashamed. We blew out the candles. Then guess what happened? Summer held my hands and took me to my room. There was a huge bouquet of flowers on my bed. She hadn't forgotten about it. I couldn't say anything. I just hugged her and cried and cried. The next day was Saturday. I didn't leave my room all day. In the afternoon, Summer came by. "Why didn't you tell me?" she asked. "What?" I said. "This," she said and showed me the video on her phone. Someone had videoed me stuck in the turnstile and uploaded it to YouTube, and the video had gone viral. Almost 250,000 people watched it in a day. I could see clearly how the flowers got damaged thanks to the video. They were trying to get me out of the turnstile. I didn't let go of the flowers despite the chaos. Yet, when I was free of the turnstile, all I had were the stems. It was funny but sad to see at the same time. Now it was Summer's turn to hug me and cry. After this incident, I decided to lose weight no matter what. I told Summer my decision right away. She held my hands. "We'll do it together," she said. We really did it together. I wouldn't have been able to do it without her. One of her friends' mom is a nutritionist. She created a meal plan for me. I had to exercise too, but the important thing was cutting calories. That meant eating less. It wasn't easy to do. Like many things, losing weight starts in the mind. If you start without convincing your mind, it finds a way to trick you. So you can't continue the diet. My suggestion for people like me is to think about all the reasons why they need to lose weight and make a list of them in a notebook. Don't start before you're completely convinced. I still can't believe I lost 160 pounds. When I started the diet, I was 275 pounds. Now I'm 115 pounds. I wanted to lose weight healthily, so I did it in 2 years, but this came with a negative side effect. Continuously losing weight means having to buy new clothes all the time. I had to change my entire wardrobe every 3 months. That's, of course, very expensive. Thankfully, my dad really supported me during this process. Last month, we celebrated our 18th birthday. My grandmother made us laugh a lot. She hugged me after we blew out the candles. She suddenly stopped. "I couldn't reach all the way around you before. Now, I can," she said. She said it so naturally that we all started laughing. Summer and I are getting along really well. I can feel that she still feels a little guilty. She's ashamed for the way she treated me. But we were both kids back then. Just like any other kid, we had the right to act foolishly. I ate like crazy and made my childhood miserable. She ran away from a child who made herself miserable. How could I expect her to love me when I hated myself? Lastly, those who have problems with their weight, don't wait until you get stuck in a turnstile. Like I said before, convince your mind and take the steps you need to lose weight. That's all from me. If you like stories like mine, subscribe to this channel. See you. Bye!